Hey guys, Jay Robarge Performance here. Alright, I want to try to address something. I get this question a lot, and I don't know. People get obsessed and confused. I don't really know why, but... So we sell a lot of manual valve bodies, transbrake valve bodies for C4s and C6s. And everybody always asks, what do I do about the governor? What do I do about the vacuum modulator? Do I got to plug this hole, that hole? What do I do? And a lot of you guys, I tell you, it doesn't matter. And I don't know, some of you start arguing. Well, yeah, it does matter. That's the wrong answer, man. I need more information. Well, it's pretty simple. It doesn't matter. So, I guess I'm going to stress, I don't care if you leave the modulator on. I don't care if you hook it up or not. Don't care if the governor's there or not. It doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe a Webster's dictionary will help that. But I will show you what I do on units I build. If you want to do this, this is optional. You don't have to do this. I try to make these valve bodies simple so you just put them in and use them. I try to make it so you don't have to do a ton of stuff. There's some stuff you can do that's optional if you choose to, if you happen to be building the unit at the same time. So a couple things. So you don't need the governor anymore. I don't put this, I don't put the governor support on here. I don't put the governor on. And if you can kind of look down inside here, I put the snap ring here. And I put a little bit of weld on it. And this is a C4 transmission, but C6 is exactly the same thing. Exactly the same principle. So that's an option. So you have less components in there, less reciprocating mass. Whatever, whatever gets you off on that. Your vacuum modulator, if you don't want to put one, just go to your local auto parts store and grab a 9/16 freeze plug and stick that in there. And you don't need the valve and the pin that used to be in there. You don't need the modulator. And it's perfectly fine to just leave the modulator in place just to block the hole. You don't have to put this plug. And if you got if you have the one with the thread in, you can, I take an old vacuum modulator generally and just cut the end off and plug the little hole with a set screw in the middle just to thread that back in there. But you can do whatever you want. And again, just leave the damn modulator on there. It's not hurting anything. As long as it's not leaking oil or something, it doesn't matter. It just really doesn't. I can't stress that enough. Some of you guys get really obsessed with this, and shops too, they just feel like they got to do something. You don't. And also, the two tubes here that feed the governor, don't care if they're there. Don't care if you want to just not put them in. That's okay. And you don't have to. You got some holes down here. You don't have to block these or anything. It doesn't matter. That's all done inside the valve body, so just leave them open. You don't have to try to plug them up with something or, whatever. Plug the holes down in here. You can if you feel better about it, but it's not necessary. So, it may sound a little strange to you why I'm kind of going off about this to some of you, but you don't get the questions that I do. And, I really try to make this simple. When you get our valve bodies and you get the instructions, some people say, well, there's just not a lot of info here. Well, I'm not going to tell you stuff like, make sure the transmission's cool so you don't get burned from the oil and remove the oil pan. I'm not going to talk to you like you're a 5-year-old in these instructions. If you don't know how to remove and replace a valve body, you need to get help, The instructions are not meant for somebody that doesn't know enough to not, get burned by hot fluid. I mean, if that's you and you know, you rode this thing around, brought it up to operating temperature, and spilled hot oil all over yourself. Come on. You know, maybe you don't need to be doing this job. I'm sorry. But I'm not putting all that stuff in the instructions. I try to make things simple. And there's not a lot in there because you don't need to do a lot. I really, really, really try hard to make these so that you can basically just put it in a good stock unit and go. I don't want you to have to do a bunch of internal modifications and buy all this other crap to go along with the valve body. You know, the valve body costs enough. You know, you pay $300 to $500, $600 or whatever for a valve body. It's kind of nice if you don't have to spend another $200-300 and other stuff to go along with it just for it to work, right? So I try to make it simple. So if the instructions don't tell you to do anything special to the modulator or the governor, pretty much means you don't really have to do anything to it. I guess it doesn't really tell you that it, you know, can be removed. It does say that, I think, on the description on the site when you buy it. But again, if you want to remove the stuff like I've done here, I mainly do this, honestly, to save time and money. I'm not going to go purchase a, you know, $20 modulator valve just to block the hole when I can get a freeze plug for 50 cents. You know, it's just about saving money. That's all it is. And it also saves me questions. You know, when you ship somebody a unit that's supposed to be full manual and has a vacuum modulator, they panic. Oh my God, you sent me an auto shift. You know, so that's kind of another reason that the modulator's not there when I build one like this. But, you know, for you, if it's already there in place, just leave it. You know, it's not a big deal. Or go get a freeze plug or something if you really want to. If you want to look cool or whatever it is. But, anyways, I hope that clears it up. And I didn't sound too abrasive. But I'm actually trying to sound a little bit abrasive. Sometimes people really rub you the wrong way on these deals, and you're really just telling them the truth. You know, no, it's very simple. You don't need to do anything. Yeah, but, there's no buts. I mean, you know, take the win, man. Sometimes something's easy, you know, and I think that's a good thing. There's other things I like you to look at besides worrying about these kind of things, but anyways, I hope that kind of clears that up. And again, this is C4 and C6, and this pertains to our valve bodies. I cannot speak for other brands because they may ask you to do something different, you know, and that's, you know, so please understand that. If you bought, you know, some other brand valve body, don't, you know, just shut this video off because I may be giving you bad information on something like that. So this is only for us. Okay. Thanks for watching.